Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this World Cup keeps on getting better and better after every single game. And I mean, how can you not love football, and how can you not love the World Cup? Cape Verde playing in their first ever World Cup against Spain, the current European champions. Everybody and their dog would have predicted that Spain are going to win this game, and they're going to win this game quite easily. I went for a 4-0 win for Spain, and what happens? The game ends in a nil-nil draw. I mean, uh, it has to be a shock of the tournament. And I mean, the performances of those Cape Verde players. I mean, you need to take hats off to them, the way that they have performed. I think at the first half it was immaculate defending. I think the goalkeeper Vizanio, I mean, the game that he had, Spain in that first half was sublime. They were sensational. They were so good in that first half. They created so many chances, but it did not matter to the Cape Verde defenders. It did not matter to the Cape Verde goalkeeper. I mean, he was playing like prime Buffon or prime Cassis, the way that he was making those saves. Left, right, down, up, anywhere the ball goes, he was going to be there. It was like, he was Spider-Man, and catching the ball with his webs. It was spectacular performance from Vizanio. His two defender center backs, Ricardo Lopez and Dinky, again, both of them, they just did not let anything come into their box. The right hand side, left hand side, corner, cross, whatever it was, free kick, they just kept on heading away and away. Their tackles on the ground, in the air, as I already said. It was a brilliant performance. And again, they had that threat on the counter attack. They came close a couple of times to to have a go and to even maybe score a goal, but that inexperience came into play, where they should have just hold on and try to get the bodies into the box. They went for glory, a couple of their players, otherwise maybe we would have been talking about one of the shocks in the history of the tournament if Cape Verde had defeated Spain. But it ends 0-0. I think Spain were, in my opinion, if I'm being honest, I think they were far better in that first half. I think they created more, they were more dangerous, they were more threatening in that first half. They created more chances where you thought that Spain were gonna score, and they got really close in that first half more. I think the second half, I think as the game went on, and as the seconds ticked by and the minutes ticked by, Cape Verde started getting more and more confident, and I think the pressure started to get onto the Spanish players. They were not really able to penetrate that Cape Verde defense. Even in midfield, they were like 10 men behind the ball. There's no doubt about that, and you expected Cape Verde to play like that. Again, there's no surprise or shock in that. But I would say in that second half, you really did not see that directness from Spain that you saw in the first half. You did not see them taking chances in that second half. I think they were a bit reserved, which was quite surprising, seeing that they were expected to get the win. And I think they started to become more and more desperate, and you started to see misplaced passes. You started to see the frustration creep into the Spain players as well. Even Dufante made his substitutions. He brings on Lamine Yamal. He brings on Mikel Marino. He brings on Dani Olmo. He threw everything that he had, to maybe try to get in. He brings on Nico Williams as well in the end, but nothing really worked. I think it was important for Nico Williams and Jamal and all of these guys to come into the field and get some game time. But I wouldn't say that they did anything different. I think Jamal, especially, I think he created a couple of good chances, but nothing again really threatening. I keep on saying, I think they were much better in that first half as compared to the second half. I think they, the more confident that Cape Verde started, going on as the game went by, they started getting more confident, that the harder it became for Spain to get the balls in the box or try to make the moves, because whatever they were trying, it was not really working. And I think it's a big setback for Spain. I get it, it's their first game of the season, first game of the tournament, and as I said, everybody expected them to win. And you people would say that they still are expected to go through. I think they are one of the favorites for everybody to win the tournament. And if you look at their group, again, you expect Spain to go through. But this would not have been the type of result that they would have wanted. They would have wanted to, start the tournament on a high, the way that Germany did yesterday. They were playing against a minnow nation, so to say, and they performed like you would expect Germany to perform. And again, Spain were expected to perform like that. But I think they would be quite disappointed that it did not work out, and then they had to settle for now they have to settle for a draw. And now it sort of opens up the group, especially now Saudi Arabia and Uruguay are going to look at this game, and now that game becomes even more important, because if either one of those two teams get a win in that game, then it's a big chance that they might go through as the group leaders, from their group, or even finishing the third place now in the group becomes very vital and very important now. I think the group is wide open and it has been blown open after this performance. Cape Verde, I mean, what can I say? You just have to take your hats off to them, the way that they played. I mean, every single one, they were throwing their bodies on the ground, making sure that they don't concede. And the nations like Cape Verde, you had Haiti against Scotland, you had Curacao. These type of teams. It is a new thing for them. They are the smallest nations on planet Earth, and they are going against a mighty Spanish, mighty European champion. And the way that they played, they had not one moment did you feel like that they were feeling a bit of pressure, or they thought we are playing against Spain, or they were scared or anything. They did not think that. They just went about their game and they did not hold back. They were physical with Spain. In the end, you see that even the fouls that were being committed, most of them were being committed by the Spanish players instead of the Cabo Verde players. And I think that shows that was a testament to Cabo Verde's performance, that they brought out the frustrations out of the Spanish players that they had to resort to making fouls, and because they couldn't believe that they are not able to score against Cape Verde. So I think that is a really testament. I want to say something to the UEFA president Alexander Churkin. He said that the expansion of the World Cup shouldn't be there. We do, so many of these games are uninteresting and whatnot. I mean, how arrogant can you be? I mean, you're saying all of this stuff, and you're European champions. The UEFA Euro winners couldn't beat one of those teams. This was one of the games that he said is going to be very uninterested. It's not going to be entertaining. And your European champions could not defeat, a team like Cape Verde. So, this arrogance that a lot of European teams have, no disrespect to some of the teams, but a lot of European teams, and, this institutions have within themselves that they think they are superior and they are better than the rest of us. And Gattuso said the same thing when Italy were not unsuccessful to qualify. He said why Africa are given so many places, why African teams are going and why a team like Italy is not going. I mean, the arrogance and the thinking that you are the superiority complex that some of the European players and the associations have in them. I mean, this was the perfect answer. I think it could not have been better. I don't want to diss Spain that much, because I don't think the Spanish FA or the Spanish players are going to be thinking like that. But I think for a UEFA president to say this, and 24 hours later, the European champions not being able to defeat a team, one of those teams that he criticized. I mean, it is like a karma in a very beautiful way coming back to bite him. And as I said before, the group is wide open. Spain on 1 point, Cape Verde on 1 point, and now that Saudi Arabia versus Uruguay game becomes massively important. And now Cape Verde are going to get so much confidence. We might even see a shock. I'm really excited. A great game of football, even though it ended up being a nil-nil, but I really enjoyed that game. That's from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Cape Verde's performance and Spain's performance, and do you think it was just a setback and Spain will bounce back? And who do you think is going to qualify from this group? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the group stage, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.